I could still say good morning. Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Yep, we can go.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I will call the April 7th, 2025 Moorhead EDA meeting to session. Can we get a roll call, Amy?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members present today include Balco, Coda, Howell, Moore, Paulson, Schofield, Sobolik, and White.
Thank you. We have a new EDA member. It's his first meeting, Chris Howell. Chris, do you want to give us a short background on yourself?
Can you hear me?
There you go.
There we go. Like I said, about 20-year Moorhead resident. I currently work I'm the market president for First Community Credit Union. We have 5 branches in the Fargo-Moorhead area. We just built a new one here in Moorhead, and that's when Shelley approached me. I've known Shelley for a long time. Our kids graduated from Moorhead High together. But like I said, I've been in business banking in the Fargo-Moorhead area for about 20 years. So this is economic development is obviously something that we work hand in hand with. So I'm excited to be on this board.
Excellent. Thanks, Chris. Welcome aboard to the board. All right. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
None at this time.
Okay. Next item of business would be approval of the March 3rd meeting minutes.
White moves to approve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Did you get the second? Right. Citizens to be heard. Kim, I
Yes,
think you're up on this one.
thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So we have, over the last several years, heard from Sherry Larson from the Moorhead Business Association each month on what's going on and all of the fun things in the that we have going on in the community and with our MBA members. And Sherry will be retiring the end of April, a well-deserved retirement. And so here today, I would like to introduce, and if you would just want to stand and come up to the podium, our president of the Moorhead Business Association is Brett Ortley. And we have board members Bill Bartholomew from Worth USA. Bill, if you want to come up as well. And Karsten Broadley from JBC Commercial, if you would like to come up. And Sherry, of course. And then Stacia, I'll let you come up and then I'll let Brett introduce you and kind of give you a little, I'm sure that this face is familiar to many of you who have been around the Chamber and Moorhead Business Association events. Shannon Full actually accused me of poaching, in all kidding aside. But Stacia comes to us to the Moorhead Business Association from the Chamber.
Hi. Thank you, Kim, for the introduction. Yeah, I would just like to start off. I feel weird having to look down to talk into this, so I apologize for the eye contact. But thank Sherry for years of service. She's been with the Moorhead Business Association for 7 years and a very dedicated leader for the association and all that she does for our community, which is evident through her dedication of showing up to these meetings every month. So like Kim said, definitely a well-deserved retirement. You're going to be missed, and we are very excited to have Stacia stepping into those very large shoes to fill, and you're going to get some great training. I know that you'll do great for our association as a whole.
Stacia, do you want to just give a couple-minute bio?
Sure.
Thank you.
So I actually come from Barnesville. I've lived there for about 19 years. I started at the chamber 3 years ago and realized what an exciting community we have in this area. Met Sherry. I've known Sherry through church, but I got to realize what she actually does for the specifically Moorhead area. And I just love the MBA and what they do, and the personal side that they have with businesses is really where what tugged at my heartstrings a lot. So I plan to try to fill her very big shoes and carry on her legacy with building relationships and helping this community grow.
Do my thing. All right, I'll do my thing. Like they said, I'm Sherry Larson. I'm the Executive Director for the Moorhead Business Association. Moorhead Business Association's mission is to promote and support the growth and success of our members in the greater Moorhead area. We foster a thriving business community through networking opportunities, advocacy, events, as well as providing the resources business need to succeed. On March 25th, the MBA members had a chance to strike up some fun outside of the office. Rolling with the MBA, we had a bowling social. It was sponsored by the Clean Response Flood and Fire Restoration at Sunset Lanes. We had 23 teams that enjoyed the afternoon of networking, team building, and of course, bowling. Also in March, the MBA members, as well as the board members, and the match by Kwame Real Estate, we presented a check to the Moorhead K-9 program. Let's talk business. The MBA members meet every Wednesday at the Moorhead American Legion at noon, and every week, an MBA member shares their story because their story matters. And presenting this week is Derek LaPointe, Downtown Moorhead Inc. President and CEO. The MBA Nonprofit Connect, we meet the third Thursday of the month at Village Inn. Roundtable discussion of the nonprofits sharing support and materials for the greater good of our community. On April 17th, Sarah Flesberg with the Alzheimer's Foundation, the Executive Director, will be sharing her story. The MBA's second annual job fair, sponsored by American Crystal Sugar, will be taking place on April 16th from 10 to 2 at MSUM Christensen Alumni Center. Please register today. We still have openings. And I invite you to engage, grow, and succeed with the MBA. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sherry.
You're welcome.
Are there any questions for Sherry? Are there any? Oh, go ahead, Deb.
I don't have a question. I just want to take a minute to thank Sherry. And I know if other people have things they want to say, but Sherry has been at the leadership of MBA since right before I joined City Council. So she has been the voice of MBA, and I'm one that frequently sort of sings the praises of MBA because of your deep connection to the community, and so many great things that you do to not just promote our businesses, but really build community, bring people together, and make Moorhead an even greater place. And so much of that is because of you, Sherry. So thank you so much for all that you've done for our community.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Deb.
Thank you, Deb. I'll just say I met Sherry quite a few years ago before even being on this board, and it's been a wonderful experience. I tried to buy her lake camper at one point. It didn't quite work out, but overall, I mean, she is a wonderful asset to the community of Moorhead, and honestly, I think it's a well-deserved retirement.
Well, thank you.
Sad to see you go, but I'm sure we'll see you around town, just knowing how much you love this community. So thank you very much, Sherry.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Chad.
Derek.
I'll close in just saying it too. I see Sherry as such a great mentor and friend. I've mentioned this to the group before. Sherry's my first phone call every morning. So sometimes talk to her before even my kids are up. So I'm going to miss those calls every morning, although I know we probably still will from time to time. But yes, everybody said it. You're such a wonderful leader and role model to so many, and a resource that so many of our businesses, I think, certainly realized through some trying times too, with COVID and other kind of economic challenges that were faced. So you've been a strong leader. We welcome Stacia, and we know that we're going to have a great continued partnership as we continue to really progress. But a lot of this movement is due to your great efforts too, Sherry. So thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Everybody have a great day. Thank you very much. I am so proud to be a part of this association. Thank you.
All right. Are there any commissioner reports today? Hearing none. Presentations.
Nothing on that one either.
Okay. Business items. Derek or Amy, do you want to set these two up?
Yep, I can frame this one, Mr. Chair. So 7A and then the two items, the two resolutions, they can kind of go all together here under one motion just to kind of frame it up here. But more of some housekeeping items, and for Chris and for Evan as kind of newer members, what we have here is kind of a city transfer. The land that we've been using in the redevelopment area is being transferred into the EDA's name. We've talked about this before as a group. This is kind of just a procedural process of how we sell land and how we kind of utilize the EDA's authority to be able to do some things there, especially as it relates to the tax increment financing district. And then lastly, as we looked for that transfer, there's a permanent easement that would be in there as it relates to essential services and utilities that go through the site. So Kat is actually here as the city attorney to give additional background or answer any questions that the EDA members may have. But again, more of a housekeeping item than anything else. But Kat, happy to share anything that you may have to add to this item as well.
Let's see. Sure. Thanks, Derek. I don't really have anything. I guess the main thing I would just reiterate is, as for the legal reason behind the transfer, like Derek mentioned, the EDA has specific authorizations under state statute with regard to carrying out certain economic development activities. So like you said, kind of more of a housekeeping item, but that's really the purpose for why the property is going to be transferred to the EDA from the city.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions for Derek or Kat at this time? Not, we're looking for a motion on item A, 1 and 2.
So move, Schofield.
Wait seconds. Somebody has to do it.
We have a first and a second. Any other conversation? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion carries. And Derek, we have some updates on the annual certification of the Emory Housing, Affordable Housing TIF.
Yep, I'm going to let Amy take this one.
All right, thanks, Derek. As we move forward through our different tax increment financing districts, after completion of the district, there is follow-up that needs to happen each year, and that's what this item is about. We are certifying that the tenants are eligible to be in the units that have been reserved for them. And so each year we're provided by the property management group of Emory Apartments documentation that shows that those tenants are eligible for the spaces. Staff has reviewed that staff being me, and I'm providing and certifying that the tenants are eligible to be in those units and that they meet the eligibility. So with that, I would just ask that somebody provide a resolution that would be in support of sending off a letter saying that the tenants are eligible, essentially continuing that tenant eligibility.
I'll make that motion.
Second, Schofield.
First and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No,
Aye.
discussion?
Thanks.
Any discussion?
Thank you. I just wondered if we could just take this time, since especially we have some new commissioners, to talk a little bit briefly about the housing TIF, since this was the first time that we used it, and it's an important tool for helping to add to our nowhere near sufficient pool of affordable houses in Moorhead. Thanks.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember White. I think it's a really great point to just reflect to. So this is the project that we're referring to is the Emery Apartments. So kind of next to formerly Muscatel Subaru, now Corwin. This was a greenfield site, so as we would describe a relatively flat, non-developed parcel in our community. Enclave Development is the one that ultimately did the project. As we were discussing options, we are by statute limited on what we can provide for incentives from TIF. One's a redevelopment TIF that we see for our downtown project. The other, in this particular case, is a housing TIF. With the housing TIF, the state has certain requirements that look at affordability. Specifically, the incomes do not exceed 60% of the area-wide median family income. So 40% of those units here in this project must be made available to those individuals, families whose incomes meet those qualifications. So we have 130 units in the space. We have 52 of those units that are made available for affordable units. And it's a great project. I know our council, EDA and our council stood behind this before it was completed. Our council was even able to give some additional term during that project as well, as they faced a time where inflation of construction material was extremely high. I think Councilmember White, you might have even led that charge in granting some additional term to allow for these affordable housing units to occur. And it's been a great project. I think it's even worth sharing too. It was one of their fastest leasing, best performing projects in all of their all of Enclave's portfolio. So that shows that we were grossly underbuilt in Moorhead, I think, for a long time. And seeing this mix of diversity of market rate housing to affordable housing fills and has been a great example project for our community as well. So thank you for shedding a little light on that as well, Councilmember White.
Thanks, Deb. Thanks, Derek. All right, any other conversation? Okay, with that, we have a first and a second to approve the annual certification for Emery Apartments. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 7C, Derek, you handling the economic development report?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, thank you. So some really exciting news, I think, to share with the group here today. I think some of you saw the email and some of the social media, but thanks to a lot of great work by Amy Thorpe, the City of Moorhead received another $1 million deed redevelopment grant. We took the lion's share of the funds again that went through across the entire state of Minnesota. But this is our second $1 million grant that we've received from this program, which is really unheard of for this program for this area to receive such funds. This grant will help with the remaining demolition on the east side of City Hall. That demolition is set to occur later this year. And actually, we might see some progression of that happen here within the next few months. But we still have some businesses, obviously Downtown Chiropractic and some of the salons that are in there too. A lot of that formally won't go down until early 2026. We're extremely grateful for deed support. I think it goes to show the due diligence that we've really had in this project for several years now. I think when we submit an application, and certainly when Amy's going through the application process, there's not a lot of holes in it. We're able to answer these questions effectively and with certainty that we're moving forward in a strong way. And that, again, goes to the collective whole of our EDA, our council, and members of the public as well that have stood behind this project for years to come. So excited that we're able to put these funds to great work, and certainly helps with the overall project costs that we face here as well. So kudos to Amy for doing great work on that. We will anticipate, just on the grant close-up and for our council members, we have not received the grant agreement yet formally, so we will be bringing that to council to formally accept that grant here in the next few weeks after we hear from DEED. So more to come on that. I mentioned construction season and demolition happening here soon. We anticipate actually this week that actually today crews are out there assessing the area and kind of staging up the area. and we will see demolition starting to occur west of City Hall, just south of City Hall as well, within this week. So that'll occur for probably a period of 6 weeks. McGough Construction is the one that will be doing that work here over the next 6 weeks, and for that second phase east of City Hall as well. But excited to see continual demolition work occur to make way for the infrastructure that's going in. So we got 5th Street that's going in, so that will be a new street that goes from basically the Shields area up towards City Hall. We'll see Red River Avenue that will extend to the west, and then portions of Minnesota Avenue as well. So it's an exciting time to be in that area, and a lot of action. So we'll be certainly using our social media channels to make people aware of how to access the site. I know Downtown Chiropractic and the existing businesses in the mall, that message went out a couple weeks ago where you'll enter actually from Center Avenue on the new 6th Street to get up to that small parking lot area. That's how you'll access those businesses. And we'll continue to kind of share any changes that may occur in the site through our social media channels. Also want to acknowledge the move of Moorhead Vision. Moorhead Vision was a long-time tenant in our Moorhead Center Mall. Earlier this month, we saw Moorhead Vision move to their new space that's by the Azul Plaza in the Hornbachers down that way. They have been a great business to Moorhead, and we wish them and support them, and I know they're going to have extreme success down in their new space in South Moorhead. I know there's a couple spaces within that space, within their new building, that are available for rent too, so we are actively promoting that for them too, and know that some great businesses will join them in their new endeavors in South Moorhead. So thank you to Moorhead Vision. And then lastly, we continue to do additional due diligence in our design standards and some of the other unique kind of development opportunities within the site itself. So if you are an interested developer or business, continue to look at our More to Moorhead website, our Yes 56560. There's some exciting things with the Library Community Center that happened over the last couple weeks too. So just lots of action in a small site that's certainly seeing some big changes in our community as well. Moving on from that, we had March 4th and 5th, the Chamber hosted the Moorhead Area Day at the Capitol in St. Paul. There was over 30 business and community leaders that attended that. Certainly grateful to the legislators and department leads that were willing to come and speak to our group. Each year that attendance has gotten bigger and bigger, so the way the Chambers had to navigate that and the willingness of having those individuals come and speak to us, I think, has been great. I mentioned some key takeaways from this. The Sustainable Aviation Fuel Project was a hot topic down there, and extremely supported project on both sides of the aisle in St. Paul, so that was great to see. I know our cities can still continue to push on flood protection, and hopeful that there'll be some funding available there. Paid family leave was a big topic with our business leaders as that program continues to progress and has a start in 2026. We also had the opportunity to speak in front of the governor this year and stress on a few different topics as well. Going back to the Sustainable Aviation Fuel Project, I think one that was pretty critical too, we had Senator Ann Rest, who's a longtime legislator. Her comment to our group was this was the most important bill that she's had in 40 years as a legislator, and we have an opportunity to have that project here in Moorhead. So excited to continue to progress on that. Continuing on the DG Fuels, Sustainable Aviation Fuels Project, just last week in talking with Mayor Shelley Carlson and members of the Chamber, I will be attending the Chamber's DC fly-in in May. We've actually already reached out to DG Fuels. Mayor Carlson and myself are going to be able to meet with DG Fuels in person. They're based out of DC. Their site selector is based out of DC. We thought this was a great opportunity to not only be in DC for other issues, but certainly be able to touch base with this business in person and see if there's any opportunities and ways that we can assist them as they continue to get funding at the federal level and work with the state of Minnesota on their tax credits as well. So exciting times. We'll see what happens on that front. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here, mention that on March 25th, the Minnesota DOT did host an open house in this room here for upcoming road construction projects. It was well attended with business leaders and interested community members. We know there's going to be a lot of changes with the underpass and specifically around Main Avenue here within the next little while. So please pay attention to Minnesota DOT's releases, their news releases, sign up for their email notifications. They have their business liaison. That hotline number is listed in our packet here, but I'll say it again. It's 218-292-8779. That is the hotline number to the business liaison for this project, and we strongly encourage businesses to reach out, get the information firsthand from the DOT and from that business liaison as things continue to change in that area. Last thing I'll mention here is, it's not in your packet, but I thought it was relevant in some of the news releases. I did attend the Legion meeting here a couple weeks ago regarding the White Earth proposal on a casino, hotel, convention center on the east end of our community. This is in Moorhead's extraterritorial growth area, so it's not inside city limits right now. I'll share briefly what I've shared with that group at the Legion, and you probably saw it in the papers as well, is that at this point in time, really we've just been informed by the tribes that they have bought the land at an auction, and they are starting their due diligence of what a project may look like. But there's no ask in front of our group. We are encouraging for more information, and I know the county and Mayor Carlson is asking the same thing, that the group comes before our council and shares those plans before anything happens. But at this point in time, there's a lot more to be heard than the rumors that are being spread around out there. So I just say stay tuned. Certainly able to answer any questions you may have, but as mentioned, we just don't have a lot of information at this point in time, and we look forward for the tribe to share more with the group as well. So a lot there. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Does anyone have questions for Derek? Kim?
No questions, just comments, especially pertaining to the downtown redevelopment. One thing that the Moorhead Business Association does really well is communicate. Communicate with other members, communicate within the MBA and on our social media sites. And I would encourage all of the EDA council members to share, you know, whether it's the police department's updates or the city's updates, share that on your social media, because we each have a different sphere of influence, and I think it really makes a difference when we can share that information and just get it out there, because then the negativity seems to drop just a little bit. So thanks, Derek.
It's a great point, and I know, you know, certainly through Facebook and other social media channels, they've kind of changed their algorithms a bit, so it's harder to maybe see that information as regular. So yeah, the more opportunities we have to share as individuals or from our prospective businesses, I think the better off we are to get the right information out to folks as well. So thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Anyone else? All right. On the topic of information, item 8, I'd encourage any Moorhead resident or commissioner or anyone interested in any of these items to check out the links on our packet here. We've got information to the 11th Street underpass, the downtown Moorhead vision, the community center and regional library, and building and housing updates. So a lot of information available to those who want it, and this is where you can find it. All right, if there's nothing else, we will adjourn.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.